Welcome to the show about the show, the podcast. This is episode 437. My name is Will, and I'm going out for a sandwich. No! Joining me, as always, is Ben, who is sipping on some night milk. Hi, Ben.
What's up?
And of course, Atticus is here, who apparently has a job and an apartment back in Missoula. Hi, Atticus.
Hello. Was
This
that
is a
your
show-
impression of being arrested at the Dr.
Yes.
Skeleton offices recently?
Yeah. That was actually just a live recording that I played. Yeah, when they barged into my professor office. Professor, just call them offices, right? You don't have to call them professor.
They're not
office.
chambers.
Chambers, nice.
Meet me in chambers.
This is yeah, that's true. That's a thing.
Judges,
I've got to get myself a chamber.
judge
Yeah, Judge Beheaven Chambers. All right, so this is a show currently about Twin Peaks. Today we're talking about season 2, episode 7, Lonely Souls. We also have a Patreon where we release a bonus hangout show every week. That's over on patreon.com/Dr. Skeleton. Question, guys. Have you ever been in a bar where you just toss peanut shells on the floor?
That's called Texas Roadhouse, I think.
I've been to Texas Roadhouse.
I'm pretty sure
Okay.
I've been there. Don't they also toss bread at you, dinner rolls at you there?
I don't know. I haven't been to Texas Roadhouse.
I've been to Texas Roadhouse and they do the peanuts thing. But in Missouri, there's a restaurant. I'm blanking on what it's called, but it's like a famous, like put billboards everywhere. And it's like home of the throwed roll, which feels like not the right grammatical structure. But I kind of wonder if Texas Roadhouse is trying to get in on the second home to the throwed roll.
You know, do you see, speaking of billboards in Missouri, I always remember the big billboards of Yakov Smirnoff there. Do you guys have those still? Do you have them in your area?
I've not noticed them.
Has he ended his Branson residency?
I don't know. But that's where I saw them growing up.
He's kind of the pull for Branson things to me.
Yeah.
Is like, what's going on in Branson, and all I know is Yakov Smirnoff.
Yakov Smirnoff, yeah.
Do you
Check
ever
it
go to
out.
Branson,
It's a Russian guy.
Atticus?
Yeah. Oh.
I've been
Ben
once,
does.
but I've kind of not let any Branson culture in. Like when people I let it just because no one wants to explain it to an outsider. They just want to reference little things about oh, you've gone to this thing and no, I've not gone to it. I don't know anything about it. Don't talk to I'm not letting it in, so I don't know anything about Branson. I don't know
What did you do in Branson?
I think we just went shopping and then left. It was during COVID, so.
Okay, Ben,
I'm
you
going
sound like more of a bigger Branson head.
I'm going to Branson every weekend, like one of those Miami guys, New York or LA Miami guys, where I'm going to Miami this week. I'm going to Branson this week. I'm going to Yakov Smirnoff Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday matinee, so that I can get back on the flight to New York. I went to Branson.
If she's your girl, why is she accepting my plane ticket to Branson?
My parents made us go to summer camp in Branson every year. Thought I would have told you about that, but yeah. So I went there a lot, and it was
Summer camp. Was it
insane?
Okay, so was it? It wasn't just regular summer camp. It was like a song and
Sports
dance summer camp, or what? Oh, sports.
No, it was sports camp. Yeah.
Did you watch football?
No.
You never lived in
Haven't I
this.
told you guys about this? Well, actually, important.
I don't. I know you went to. I know you went to summer camp.
It's a Christian sports camp. So you pray,
Ooh, the
and
coolest
then you
kind.
play, and then you play football, and then you prayed again. Yeah, I think I actually learned recently. Maybe I shouldn't joke about it. I learned recently. Summer camp I went to. Under investigation. let's say now. It sounds like.
That's consistent with what I know about summer camps.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never figured out how to make friends because I never went to summer camp. But none of the bad stuff that happens to you at summer camp happens to
Yeah.
me. So,
Yeah.
there's one of those. There's upsides and there's downsides. Okay, I didn't. So I have been to a restaurant / bar where they were, you just be tossing peanuts on the floor. Only once, and it wasn't a Texas Roadhouse, but I thought it was so gross. That's nasty.
Because you just went to a regular bar where everybody had bad manners. It sounds like if it wasn't a Texas Roadhouse.
Am I missing something about Texas Roadhouse? Where like this is the Texas Roadhouse thing? I thought it was maybe something that was like some sort of out of time thing, like it used to be like a saloon thing, or that like Texas Roadhouse might
I
have
think it
lifted,
is.
but I don't think it's original to them. Is
I
it?
think it is, but you're saying that in a very like something being out of time in a very generous way, because like it used to be in time that you just like walked into a saloon and killed somebody or whatever,
Sure, yeah.
It's a lot of
Have you been to bars
in-time
where they
stuff
do
that?
that? It's
not
a
polite to do
great
anymore.
time. Yeah,
It's not hygienic though.
it is not very hygienic. Yeah. Okay, but like, are you guys? Am I missing something about like the peanut thing where like it's super gross to you guys, right?
Yeah, it's gross.
Okay,
It's kind of the least
good.
offensive thing about Texas Roadhouse. So I haven't I haven't zeroed in on that being the problem, and I haven't been anywhere else where that's the thing. So it's not occurred to me that it's gross, frankly.
Okay.
But it is kind of weird. I mean, it
like
feels
it's
like
on
kind
the
of
list
just
of
immoral.
things that we would need to solve here, but they're more structural things that we'd have to address first.
Yeah, it's like being at a park where they're like, "You're allowed to litter," and you're like, "But you shouldn't."
Where's that? A
Oh,
thing?
that's not a thing.
No.
Oh,
It just kind
okay,
of
but
feels
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, like
You don't got to
it's
say.
like,
You don't got to be nice to our staff. Like you
think
should.
I'm
go.
going to.
That's
I'm just gonna
that's
go
a
ahead.
thing. That's a thing though too. I don't know what the names. I haven't been to one of those, but I've heard about
like
this.
Dick's
It's a
Last
thing-
Resort.
Sounds
Is
like
where
it
they're
based on the
they're mean to
names.
you.
They're mean to you or something. Okay, yeah. That sucks. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't
Not
want that.
interested in that. Yeah.
But
When I was
where
a-
you're allowed to be mean to the servers, not interested in that either. Which I guess is also kind of
Yeah.
like everywhere anyway. Like I don't know, just people just
Everywhere, yeah.
being rude.
Yeah. When I was a kid, when I would have been to the one time I would have been to Texas Roadhouse, like my dad liked to take us to, baseball games, and he'd get the peanuts, and he would eat the
Yeah.
peanuts, and he would do the dad thing of, put the peanut in your mouth and crack it open with your mouth and eat the peanut and then spit out the shell at the baseball game
Yeah.
thing. My siblings and I thought like the cracking it open part kind of disgusting and just weren't really interested in the peanuts. So we would get a bag of peanuts and we would just suck the salt off the peanut and spit out the whole
Sure.
peanut. And
Yeah.
that's what I remember at Texas Roadhouse, us just spitting full peanuts onto the ground, basically. But yeah, it's gross. And
It is gross.
also
Yeah,
we're making
that's
it more
gross.
wasteful, I suppose, in that way too.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Maybe, yeah, spitting at baseball games too. Also gross. Don't like that's
Yeah.
that's gross. How about we just clean up after ourselves, gang? Just kind of across the board.
Anyway, these rubes in
nice.
old Twin Peaks, they're just doing this shit at their regular restaurant. They're one bar.
You should
They're,
see
they're
them
doing
at
it in the courtroom.
Yeah.
You should see them at the Minecraft movie.
Llama jockey. I don't know. I tried to pull like a weird like.
I don't even know. I don't think I've
Animal
even heard that.
I couldn't come up with anything from it, but I could say it was a mess.
All right. So we're talking about Lonely Souls. This is an episode of Twin Peaks, the 7th episode of the 2nd season. It aired November 10th, 1990. It was directed by, let's see if I'm saying this right, David Lynch, and it was written by Mark Frost. And Ben will read the summary. Take it away,
Okay.
Ben.
Would you like me to do my log lady
Yes.
accent yet again? Okay. A poem as lovely as a tree. As the night wind blows, the boughs move to and fro. The rustling, the magic rustling that brings on the dark dream. The dream of suffering and pain. Pain for the victim, pain for the inflictor of pain. A circle of pain, a circle of suffering. Woe to ones who behold the pale horse.
Gosh, I hope I don't find myself beholding a pale horse anytime soon.
Last person I heard talking about a pale horse was old Jonathan Cash in that one song. One song. The man comes around, right?
On a pale horse I ride. I'm a cowboy. Wait, no, that's not that one. Yeah, so from the intro here, we might be, or for the prologue here, we might be picking up a vibe that it's about time for us to eat our Twin Peaks vegetables in one way or another, right? We've a lot of the show is fun and games, and
Enough.
there's when David Lynch be making something, there's this other piece of the puzzle that sometimes slots in there, and that's what we're about to receive in these couple episodes. And maybe Marty, my dog, knew this because he did not go beast mode during the intro as he usually does this week. Instead, he ran full speed into a chair out in the yard and had to go to the dog hospital at 10 o'clock at night.
He was trying to tell you something. I don't know why you turned it back on, you know?
Yeah.
Well, poor Marty. I did hear he's okay before I made that joke, but, you know, like,
Yes, he's fine.
terrible.
All right, getting into it. Hawk, Gordon, Cooper, Gerard / Mike, and Andy all stand in the lobby of the police department the following morning, each eating donuts or drinking coffee. Pretty cool.
Squadding up. The camera is way across the room for the entire scene. And it's like
They were the only guys on set. They did it sort of selfie mode. David Lynch's press play and then run into position.
I think the distance is interesting. And it's not like perfectly like straight on either. It's kind of like maybe you were if you were sitting in like the lobby waiting room, but then you like stood up, and that's kind of the perspective of the camera here. It's a kind of a weird framing.
They've got a big waiting room, by the way, for that small town. And also just the police station in general.
Yeah. I have some like architectural suggestions for some updates that they can make to this town if they seem to be having, for instance, only the one jail cell and they have to put everyone else in the hotel. Maybe like, I don't know, take a few of those waiting room chairs that space there and like turn that into a cell. I don't know.
Harry arrives and declares the Great Northern Hotel is ready for their investigation as Mike repeats his description from the night before. The group outlines their plans. Hawk will go investigate Harold's apartment for Laura's secret diary, while everyone else will head to the hotel, where every guest will be expected to fully cooperate with the investigation. Gordon leaves for Oregon on a top-secret assignment. The investigation at the hotel basically amounts to having each guest sit next to Mike one at a time, seeing if he can sense Bob's presence within them. Ben catches wind of this.
Would you fully participate with this if you were at the hotel?
No. I'd make myself look very suspicious by protesting big time.
Yeah. Ben and I are the two like sovereign citizens out in the parking lot.
Yeah. Well, we got a bunch of the most sovereign kind of citizens you can have. You know, boat guys.
Spirits.
Boat.
Is that what they are? The sailors? I was trying to
dressed people. At
yeah,
least.
And then other shots, I was like, wait, are these pilots or sailors? Like, what's the garb? But sailors was my first guess. And they're bouncing. They all have these rubber balls, and they're bouncing them. And We don't really see that that's what's making this sound, but we have like 100 sailors bouncing 100 balls, and it's making this weird cacophonous sound as they're working through the line of Great Northern guests, and it's very weird. But the sound I thought is it's cool. It's weird. It's upsetting.
It is cool. Just cacophony of a cacophony of balls all over the hotel. I lost my spot. Gordon leaves. Ben catches wind of this and storms into the area, demanding an explanation. As Ben approaches, Mike begins having a seizure once again. His cries are drowned out by Ben's outrage. The officers scrambling to help him, and the cacophony of guests milling about the lobby. Meanwhile,
cacophony is the word of the episode.
Yeah.
Word of the episode, yeah. Meanwhile, Hawk arrives at Harold's apartment, discovering it to be completely trashed. He also notices Harold's body hanging inside his greenhouse. Hawk being like the one guy in town who's able to open a door and sort of see a scene and understand what's going on.
Right.
Without, excuse me, what are you doing up there?
What are you doing up there? Harold. Harold. Yeah.
Any other thoughts on Harold's house?
I guess not. I don't know. I mean, R.I.P. Harold. That's tough.
A little bit of a relief that you're not going to be, in every episode.
There is some amount of like, okay, it seems like we did have a lot of pieces on the board, and maybe we're taking care of some of those pieces.
You're not also not going to be bothered by the local high school Scooby-Doo crew anymore, too, which is probably nice.
Like he won't. Because he died.
Yes. Maddie tells Sarah and Leland that she needs to go back home, feeling that she needs to live her own life again. While Sarah seems upset, Leland encourages both of them that this is the right decision. Maddie is her own person and she can always come back and visit anytime.
Couple things about this scene.
Yeah.
The camera's way over across the room again here with the Palmers. This time it's roaming a little bit, but it's weird. It's like we're in the room. Just the way that they film stuff in the Palmer house, it's very oppressive and suffocating in there, and the way they filmed this scene is part of that. But yeah, also Maddie apparently has a job and an apartment back in Missoula.
Nice.
She's not in school as we maybe thought she would be, but like, yeah, I guess it makes sense for her to get back to her life. And she promises that she'll come galloping back often.
Do you guys know
Very
anybody
sweet.
who had an apartment in high school?
I got the vibe she's not in high school, but could that be?
Yeah, I just
Or-
assumed she was the same exact age as Laura, but probably an older cousin. But also, I don't think so. And I think that that's probably a bad sign if you have an apartment in high school. There's like,
I knew
It's a
knew
tou-
somebody with an apartment in high school. Did not go well.
yeah. Okay. And was it as fun as it sounds? Like their whole situation?
Yeah, I don't think so.
So there were some downsides to maybe not having like, a parental figures who could take care of you.
Yeah, I guess.
That's too bad.
I remember thinking I wanted to rent. There was like an apartment above my dad's office. I was like, I want to rent that when I was in high school. As if I had something to do in downtown Grinnell, Iowa that I couldn't accomplish at home. He's like, no. And that was the end of it.
Sounds about right as far as that conversation goes.
At Harold's apartment, now swarming with police officers, Cooper discovers a suicide note on Harold's corpse. The note reads, okay, somebody want to read this in French?
Sure.
I have to.
Because I have a note on this too. So it says Jaun M solitaire, right?
Oh, yeah. Would you like my translation before I read the next part of the sentence?
Yeah.
Once again, I think this was from before. My translation of this is most likely, I am a solitaire, or I have a solitaire.
Right. Okay. So who says this before? It's the little magician kid, or is it his grandmother? One of the two, right?
Yes.
It's probably important that we remember who says that. But which also, by the way, that kid was played by David Lynch's son.
Yeah, and we knew that when we said that stupid stuff about, damn, that guy looks a lot like David Lynch.
Yeah, we just decided not to say it in the moment for some reason. But so it's the same. It's the same phrase. And note on the translation here. So Cooper translates it in the moment to say, "I am all alone," and I was like, well, what the heck? I got that wrong then when I said that, because I said I only have one friend. J'ai un M solitaire. And so I looked into this a little bit, and so apparently what's going on here is that actually, did we see the note, or does he just say it? Because this would have been helpful for me. Okay.
Yeah.
We've got what's the term for a word that homophone, like two words that sound the same.
Sure. Yeah.
But are spelled differently. Okay, so friend and soul, the two words for friend and soul in French are pronounced the same, M, and they're spelled differently. So it's j'ai un M solitaire, M being the soul word here, and so it's like I have a soul solitary, like I have a solitary soul. So like I am lonely. I am a solitary man. Blah blah blah. I am whatever. When I heard it, I heard M as in friend, and so like I have a solitary friend, so I only have one friend. But so those are like different. If you just say like I am all alone and I have only one friend, but they both kind of mean lonely. But yeah, I guess FYI for the Frenchies out there.
That's why I translated it incorrectly as well, because of the homophone. Hawk discovers a second diary in the wreckage left strewn about the apartment. Would you call that wreckage?
It was a mess, yeah.
I mean, it's a mess, but you don't walk into some of the wreckage. This is search through the wreckage, fellow police officer.
Yeah, that's true. Like a hurricane hit it or something.
What do those other police officers think of the guy? I mean, we see them later on in the series as well, but like, what do you think of what do the other police officers think of the main character police officers? Not doing much. Background guys.
Well, it's been only like
useful.
12 hours for the entire series. We're finding out. So
Yeah.
they're like, calm down. Gotta solve it within the first 48.
Bobby and Shelley calculate the bills for Leo's living expenses and determine that Shelley can't live on the meager remains of the insurance check. Shelley demands that Bobby return her necklace in order to get some money back. Bobby suggests trying to sell Leo's truck instead, but as it was used in a crime, it now belongs to the state of Washington. Bobby notes that Leo's drug dealings and checkbook suggest that he must have some extra money stashed away somewhere else. Leo suddenly makes a loud noise, causing Bobby and Shelley to jump back. Then spits up and mutters, "New shoes."
New shoes.
Bobby writes off Leo's sudden bout of lucidity as a burp, but Shelley is convinced that Leo is still somewhat functional and alive.
She's so paranoid. It frustrates me.
He's saying words. God.
Bobby asks if Leo had purchased shoes recently, but Shelley instead says that he had her take his boots in for a repair the week prior. Shelley goes to find the receipt, while Bobby encourages Leo for more information.
It's a wonder these two were able to come up with the insurance fraud scheme at all. Like they don't seem like the brightest pair in the show. I think that maybe the fact that like the insurance fraud isn't working at all is perhaps evidence. And then Leo says new shoes, and Bobby's like, is there anything to do with shoes that we could look into? And Shelley's like, why? I was like, I'm not sure, just go check.
It's like the only clue out there in the world.
Yeah, it's like
right
the
now
only
for us.
input that has entered this system in the last 15 seconds. That's why I'm talking about it. Yeah, these two aren't necessarily the brightest, but yeah, they're left with like $42.
Yeah. Bobby,
for-
very dude's rock moment though, where she's like, "How are we supposed to live off of this?" And she's like, "What do you mean we?"
I'm missing economics class, I believe. He's like, I'm supposed to be in school. I think it's very.
It wasn't on your mind until it came to like, how are we going to afford this? You were like just eating or whatever.
Yeah, this seems like a YP, Shelley. Yeah, it's funny that school is brought up in that way to be like, yeah, he's clearly like not interested in going to school at all, unless it's like, I'm just a little baby. I'm just actually I should actually just be at school to get out of like having to figure this out.
Audrey confronts her father about One-Eyed Jacks, revealing that she knows everything about the people who worked there, Laura included, and his involvement with the casino and his encounter with Prudence. Audrey begins to interrogate Ben over his dealings there, and he complies. He tells her that he's owned the casino for 5 years and knew about Laura's brief stint there, but was unaware that Battis sent her there when she worked at the department store. Audrey demands to know if he slept with Laura, and Ben hesitates to answer in a big, kind of Larry David-esque moment. Kind of cowering way. After a moment,
Did I sleep with her?
After a moment, he
Yes.
quietly admits that he did. Audrey asks if he killed her, but Ben only responds that he loved her, looking at a picture of Laura on his
what?
desk.
Is this a new
Where
picture
this
on
picture-
the desk too?
Yeah,
Right,
where'd
this is
picture
new.
come from?
Kind of shown as if we might have seen this before.
All
Which,
the
like,
times FBI agent Cooper walked in there to talk with him.
I don't
Might have
know.
been a good clue.
Ben, what the fuck? What's going on with that? This is an incredibly rich scene here. First of all, Audrey just jumping in at Ben and asking him questions like this, like without any backup. Like, good for her. It seems like a really like scary thing to do, to confront your father like this or anybody about this. And also I think it's a really interesting scene, the way that Ben, he like denies it like at first, but rather than try to like fully like wiggle out of it, he like pretty much, Audrey's got him dead to rights there, but like it totally deflates when he realizes that she was Prudence, and he just tells her, presumably honestly, what his involvement with the casino is. I think it's really interesting that he's been the owner for 5 years. This is like a long running institution. He's not the source of this evil. He's just kind of an opportunist who came along and like ran it. That this One-Eyed Jack situation has been a going concern in the area before Ben's involvement, so it didn't come from Ben here. And then, of course, obviously the nuclear bomb of him loving Laura and and having slept with her showing up here too. That's crazy.
Yeah, that sucks.
Do you get the sense that is there a unified like writing department at Twin Peaks, or is there like I'm not saying that they're going against each other, but is there any of like the Star Wars writing each other into like
Get out
you
of this
deal
one,
with the ramifications?
It's all happening. It's all happening between the writers of Andy trying to argue over his intelligence level. Is he complete moron or not?
I think that this could be apocryphal. I think my understanding is that they were under pressure by the network to like provide answers here. I think that this isn't like the first show with suspense by any means, or like big thing. Like Dallas, I think had already been like kind of like the big like Who Shot JR type thing. But Twin Peaks, I think that there was pressure from the network that was like, okay, you gotta give answers. You gotta answer Laura Palmer. And this episode feels like we're by modern standards, honestly, by like if you're watching like a modern like prestige television show, like this type of stuff could be stretched into like 10 seasons, what we've seen already. Like basically nothing happens in modern TV shows. And so like, I don't know, just like the pace is really slowed down. So it's kind of funny to think that like this was like really dragging it out back in the day. But I'm wondering if these other revelations about like, oh, okay, fine, here's all of the backstory about like, okay, Ben was involved with Laura. He loved Laura. We're just going to give a lot of answers now was like also part of the same directive to like satisfy audiences or like satisfy the network's demand to give audiences answers. I don't know.
That makes sense.
Shelley tells Norma that she will have to quit her job at the Double R Diner to take care of Leo full time, tearing up as she does so. Norma reassures her that she will be fine. Norma encourages Shelley to take care of herself, promising her a job at the diner whenever she's ready to return. Nadine and Big Ed.
I like that scene between Norma and Shelley. They're friends. This. I mean, obviously, you could compare what are the different like institutions in the town of Twin Peaks. We've got One-Eyed Jacks. We've got the Great Northern Hotel. We've got the Roadhouse. We've got the Double R Diner. And there's really only one of those that seems to be safe. I mean, we get like the police station, or whatever, and only one of these seems safe, and it's Norma's Diner. It's run and owned by a woman, Norma, and I think that her genuine care and like lack of control over or a lack of interest. She's not interested in controlling Shelley whatsoever. She's kind of like the only good presence in Shelley's life altogether. But like it's just kind of a sweet scene that these two care about each other, and I feel bad for Shelley for having to cut off the one like positive influence she has in her life here.
Nadine and Big
for
Ed
$42
enter not long after to some cool music, the Nadine music, Joker entrance song. Norma, not knowing about Nadine's condition, is subtly encouraged by Ed to play along, saying that she's been working at the diner for 6 weeks instead of 20 years. Nadine asks if Norma is mad about her staying with Ed while her parents are away, saying so because Ed mentioned that he and Norma broke up recently. Nadine gets so happy that she accidentally shatters a milkshake glass with her bare hands, remarking on her clumsiness in surprised disbelief and staring at her bloodied hand. She gives Ed a huge kiss while Norma moves to clean up the spill.
Yeah, pretty nasty cut that she sustains there on her hand. Crushing the shake. I feel like Ed needs to sort of raise the flag on this and be like, all right, I thought I had this under control. Doctor, this is kind of crazy. We need to maybe... You can't just be like,
I tried this.
She wants to drive like at 100 miles an hour, so we're just gonna let her do it.
I would just simply keep her at home. Why would you?
No.
Weird situations.
Get a doctor involved.
Well, no, I mean, I agree. Give
Also,
the doctor.
good luck keeping Nadine confined. She'll plow right through you.
Sure. But whatever. Also, she can be encouraged to stay at home. But I agree with the doctor.
Sure.
Thing. But I want to go out. This is like a couple weeks ago with the rushing to somebody's side thing. Don't do that. And don't when your partner's gone crazy and you have to pretend a bunch. Just
hide
stay
them
at home.
away. Lock them away so they can't embarrass you. What are you thinking?
Yes. Bobby and Mike return to Leo's with the boots. He points
There's
out...
Mike. That Mike motherfucker. We were just asking about him.
The other Mike.
He's in econ most days.
Yeah, he's like, Bobby, it's been so long since you were at school, man. Like, we're actually learning a lot.
He points out where Hank shot Leo through the window as Mike watches Leo in surprise. Bobby shows Leo the boots from the shop, complaining that they're actually old shoes, as Leo continues muttering, "New shoes." Bobby figures out there's something about the shoes that Leo isn't mentioning. Then Mike mentions that people have hidden small items in boots before. Bobby refutes that approach, saying that he already checked the boots when he got them, but found nothing. He finds a hammer and begins pounding the heel of each boot, eventually prying one loose to find a micro cassette. You have any thoughts on the boots?
I didn't think this is how you'd open up a shoe.
Yeah, me either. I think I would maybe try to like do this or something first on it before just be like whack, 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 whack.
Randomly pounding.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Cooper records his thoughts about Laura's secret diary at the police station. The diary has been heavily mutilated, but everything Cooper has pieced out from it confirms Bob's presence in Laura's life. Entries in it also suggest that she was abused and sexually molested regularly from at least early childhood. The diary specifically notes Bob as a friend of her father's. Backing up a sentence to your point about the network being like, you got to give people some more clues. We need to start revealing things. It's a good... Okay, how about this? How about we reveal the darkest possible stuff about Laura Palmer?
Yes.
On your network.
Mm-hmm.
You want more clues? Or can we go back to...
specific enough for you? Network?
Can we go back to Tibet?
Yeah.
Cooper reads out a passage dated 2 weeks before Laura's death, saying that she will tell the world about Ben Horn. Audrey interrupts his recording to tell him that her father admitted to sleeping with Laura multiple times. She also mentions Laura's brief stint at One-Eyed Jack's and that Ben owns it. Harry enters just as Audrey asks if they plan on arresting Ben. Cooper responds by telling her not to say anything to anyone else and to go home immediately. Harry asks for an explanation, and Cooper recounts that Mike began having a seizure just as one specific person walked into the lobby that morning. And it wasn't one of the 500 people with a sailor suit on. Cooper requests Harry draw up an arrest warrant for Benjamin Horn.
Okay, so another big scene. First of all, Audrey's black sweater is great. Simple, but great. She's got good style. Cooper's reaction to learning So Audrey tells Cooper, my father was sleeping with Laura, and Cooper says, holy smokes.
Darn.
Ah, wow.
Wait, also back
gross.
up to the very very beginning of this scene too. Cooper's got a shirt he's bare chested, got a shirt draped
Yes.
over him. Once again, probably not going by the book. Hopefully not going by the FBI book of once again inviting a local teenager into his his bedroom. This time in more of a state of undress than in the past.
Yeah. He also, is it this episode or the next episode? I think it's this. I think he just he basically just flings open the door willy nilly on this too.
When Audrey comes, he takes his gun. I took note
that's
of that.
the next episode.
Oh, maybe I'm mixing.
It definitely happens in the next episode.
Okay. Maybe I'm mixing up the shirt thing then.
I think there was but it struck me as odd, so maybe I have it wrong. But I feel like after he's gotten shot at the Great Northern, someone has knocked on his door and he's been like, whoa, again, just without, taking precaution. And I think it was this time that Audrey came. And then it happens again, I think the next episode, or maybe later in this episode, and he's cool with it. But yeah, I mean, at all, he's got to tighten up on the letting her into the hotel room. I think you can do the oh, I see who it is. 1 second, I'm going to put my shirt on. And then he can open the door a little bit, maybe step into the hall and talk to her. Or don't just let her come in and keep your shirt
Mustn't
on.
let this keep happening.
Yes, bro. Come on.
Ben speaks to Mr. Tojimura in his office, confirming that after Jerry's legwork, he is ready to approve the deal. Just as Tojimura hands over the contract, Cooper and the other police officers barge in. Harry demands that Ben come with him as he is under arrest for the murder of Laura Palmer. Ben denounces their claims, but Harry sternly tells him that they can drag him through the lobby in handcuffs if he does not comply.
He's like, perfect.
Ben threatens Cooper with his position of power, which doesn't faze him in the slightest. Ben attempts to leave through his secret office door, but Hawk and Andy intercept him, handcuffing him as he struggles. The officers leave Tojimura and his assistant in the office in stunned confusion. Tojimura check, Atticus.
What do you think's going on with Tojimura?
What do you think after this scene? The most important thing, what's up with that guy?
Just seems like a regular type fella to me.
Atticus is watching this in real time. He is not progressing beyond the scenes that we're talking about. So Ben avoiding arrest is so good. He runs out of tricks, right? He's a powerful man, right? He's a businessman. He runs the town economically, all these different ways. He's very used to always getting what he wants, and any obstacle can just kind of be waved away. And he's trying that with the police and in various ways, where he's just no, that's not, no. And they're no, okay, we're still gonna charge you. And he's get out of here. He just kind of resorts to just leave. They don't, and he's you know what? I'm going for a sandwich. And then he gets up there, and they grab him. He starts shouting, "No, no, no!" I mean, Richard Beymer has been killing it this season. I mean, the whole time he's on screen in the first season as well. But I want to shout him out in this episode. He does the big funny comic stuff in this scene, but also when Audrey was confronting him with the truth there, his internal deflation there, and sort of sober realization of shit is so fucking real right now, and him just kind of going into not cruise control, but just kind of automatically answering questions truthfully. Like, he does such a good job. And so I just want to shout Richard Bamer out for his performance in this episode.
In the Palmer household, the record player spins aimlessly, constantly clicking as Sarah drags herself down the stairs, muttering her husband's name.
Fucking creepy. What's going on with Sarah, huh? Then we see the ceiling fan. Add that to the tally.
Yep. We see the
Hideous house.
Oh, the brown carpet. Just dragging yourself across.
You know it's too warm in there.
The choice you made in the past to get that, to be like, damn, I want the floors in this house to be poop brown and the walls to be piss yellow. And then someday you have to drag yourself through it all. Harry demands that Ben be placed in a holding cell at the station. As Hawk and Andy leave, Cooper and Harry see the log lady waiting for them in the lobby. She says that, quote, there are owls in the roadhouse. And Cooper asks if something is happening. And it's just,
something is happening.
It's just a regular pest report to the local police office. I remember my grandparents having to call the police to tell them, like, there's a possum in our backyard that was like demented or whatever, and the police had to come and take care of it. Small town. They don't have a possum guy. You got to call the police.
You usually, otherwise you would call the public defender, right? That's what
I guess so.
Atticus Finch does. He takes care of the dog.
I mean, we're talking about the businesses earlier. Again, remember, this is a town of 50-something thousand, and it does seem like it has approximately 100% unemployment rates because there are only like 5 people with jobs, and a lot of them they're kind of greedy. A lot of them are taking jobs from other people. Why do we have to have the bar guy also be the guy that's in control of the courthouse? That kind of stuff.
I want to shout out the log lady's sweater, looking good as hell in this scene. She got that green cardigan on. It's good.
Back in Pete's cabin, Pete is approached by a figure in the dark who turns out to be Mr. Tojimura. Tojimura embraces Pete, causing him to drop his nighttime snack, and admits that he has been strangely attracted to Pete since their encounter the night before. Pete demands that he leave. As he does that,
Tojimura wait just a minute, Buster.
As he does that, Tojimura speaks in a very familiar feminine voice, and also notably not doing a bad Japanese accent anymore voice, before switching back to his raspy Japanese accent. Tojimura removes their glasses and announces their true identity. I like for this sentence that the TV Tropes guy has switched to they, them pronouns. We've gone from he to now for one sentence it gets to be they, them. Tojimura removes their glasses and announces their true identity to Pete in their normal voice. Catherine Martell. Pete jokes that she looks terrible and the two embrace each other. Pete crying tears of joy in between laughs.
I think
you gotta love it.
Yeah. All right, Atticus. How? When did you?
What's up with Tojimura? Did you get what's going on now?
I think he's up to something way beyond me.
He's
got plans within plans over here.
Yeah, there still is Tojimura, and this is just one of the many decoys.
This man has come from Japan and has now enticed Pete. He's tricked Pete into thinking that this Japanese man is his wife, his deceased wife, Catherine.
Yeah, this is an ancient Japanese ritual of tricking someone. An elaborate ruse.
Yes. Ooh. Yeah. Atticus, how do you feel about the reveal here?
It Is this like one of the biggest things people know about the show?
I would say it's one of the lesser discussed things, to be honest.
Okay. Gotcha.
I mean, I'm sure Twin Peaks heads are not going to agree with that, but like, it doesn't come up that much. I
Gotcha.
had no idea this was coming when I saw it for the first time.
Okay, good.
I do remember thinking, oh, that's weird that they just got a guy to do, Yellowface in this movie. and then when it's revealed like 4 episodes later, like, okay, it's also
Okay, but still
weird that a character did it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't like quite answer the question. So I think that's so Zoe has seen this before, and it makes such like little impact on the show that she like had forgotten who this was too. Even like with the close-ups on Tojimura's face or whatever. And so like it's not necessarily like the biggest deal about it, and also like it doesn't like make any sense with the reveal either. Like I feel like Pete should still have like a lot of questions like right away too. Like, Catherine, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you pretending to be a Japanese man?
I guess he's just excited by the prospect of a ruse. He's like, I want in.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. You guys are not romantic enough. You need to be as romantic as me and be like, damn, if your wife pulls off an awesome ruse, gotta be the ruse of the decade in the town of Twin Peaks, if not of all time in Twin Peaks. And you just gotta be like, wow, I love it. This is my ride or die.
Yeah. I mean, I do ship them. I do support them. I am big fans. I do stand them. I do think though, Catherine, like she could pull off an equally phenomenal ruse by not pretending to be a Japanese man. Like she could just be like a different,
a different race.
And has Pete forgotten that they weren't getting along too?
They weren't getting along, but I think this has really helped them.
Grow closer. Would it not though? If you thought, okay, if you're pissed at your wife, but then you thought she died, and then she comes back and okay, yes, she's doing Yellowface, but also she's alive. You'd be like, yo, this is crazy. I gotta laugh.
No, I would
be cry for a good while.
What? Yeah, I don't know.
And what if every other interaction you had between each other was like, I hate you. Get your mink boots off my bed. Well, your little pea brain can't understand the numbers.
This is their marriage being saved, though.
Okay.
Isn't that what
it's kind of a Phantom Thread dynamic.
Yes, exactly. What's that show that you guys? You didn't make me watch. Shelly made me watch it, but you guys watched it too. The show that happens
catching
at
astray on this
resorts. The resorts, like White Lotus. Yeah, is that what you just said? Yeah. So that kind of thing,
You said
I did not make you.
Oh, it sounded like Atticus said White Lotus. Yeah.
No, I did not make you watch White Lotus. I've not seen White Lotus.
But it's like that you go through something a little kooky, and then you're back in love with your wife.
Sure. But shout out to Pete. He seems to be happy. So, and Catherine.
I'm gonna shout out to Catherine too. I'll give you the Ruse of the Week award.
I mean, fantastic ruse. I'm glad that it seems to be working out for you guys.
I think it could have taken a workshopping.
Crazy perverts.
It could have taken a pass at workshopping. I think, to your point, didn't have to be a Japanese man for this to work.
I want to see Piper Laurie do like Southern lawyer, like that's who she decided to be for a while.
That would have been a good one. I was trying to think to myself, who else could you do if not a Japanese man? And Colonel
Sanders.
The whiteboard, the brainstorming whiteboard is just like I think I've got it, and then they just keep writing up Japanese man over. Like, no shit. I guess somebody already thought of that.
Atticus I really do want to know. Did you have any idea?
No.
How tricked were you by this? Okay, so it took until
is kind of.
Did it take you until this scene to know that it was? Did it take you until the scene to know that it was not a Japanese person?
So,
Not to incriminate you too much.
no, I could.
But
I'm pretty
really
good at telling
I do really want to know.
accents. Most likely. That's nothing like I've
I
heard.
thought this was a Korean woman the whole time.
I feel like. Well, I feel like I've been encouraged to just let it wash over me.
Yep.
So I'm not like, this looks janky and weird, so it must be something else. Like,
No, that's part of the
the
magic.
whole show is kind of janky and weird. So yeah,
Uh-huh.
it did. It got my ass.
It got
But-
my
but-
ass the first time too.
But for real though, did you know? I definitely
Quit lying.
It definitely,
Marcus.
it got me. It completely got me who it was. But I did look at it. I think it's fair to
Something's
say when I
going on
watched
with
it the first time-
Tojimura.
Well, something's going on, but mostly like I don't even know if I knew something was going on, but I did clock. I don't want to brag, but I did clock. That's a white person doing yellowface pretty early on when I was watching it. I might not say in the first episode, the first time I saw it, but definitely within 2 episodes, I was like,
Congrats.
that's somebody else. No, but
Sure.
what I'm asking is did that happen for you, Atticus?
No, I don't know. I just
okay.
like.
Okay,
I'm
Atticus
not
thinks that's
too,
what
like-
Japanese people look like. Write it down. Put it in the
Okay.
Dr. Skeleton wiki.
I'm just
We've
wondering.
got him dead to rights.
I'm just wondering.
Is Tojimura a subtle nod to Toe Jam and Earl?
What would that be?
I think a video game that came out after Twin Peaks.
Oh, okay.
Maybe then.
Would you recall?
1991, the next year. So maybe someone was like Tojimura. I kind
How-
of want to name some characters Toe Jam and Earl.
Do you recall how she was cast? What's the name that she's credited on in those other episodes? Instead of Piper
Fumio
Laurie?
Yamaguchi. Which, by the way, you
Fumio
thought I was about to just give away the thing.
Yeah.
Like 2 episodes ago.
I forgot. Yeah, I forgot that it was fake. Okay.
Fumio.
Fumio. Sarah continues dragging herself through the living room before she sees a vision of a pale white horse appear in front of her. She then passes out on the floor as the record player continues to spin. Leland adjusts his tie in the next room, looking at a mirror, seemingly unaware of his wife's condition.
Fellas, pale horse appears in your living room. WYD.
I don't know. I'm just thinking of the Johnny Cash thing again.
I'm grabbing my phone and I'm taking a video until it's the situation.
Elder
is
TikTok here.
resolved.
Elder TikTok. It's going down in the living room. Pale horse. Elder TikTok. Follow.
I don't think I would even have the... Wait, now I'm really always messed up on this now. Is it presence of mind? Place of mind?
Presence of mind. Yeah.
Presence of mind. I don't think I would have the presence of mind to be like, that's a pale white horse, like in the Bible or whatever. I'd just be like, damn, that's a horse. That's just a horse. I don't think I would register the meaning of the pale
Like
white
symbolic significance.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think IRL, I see a horse. I don't care the color. It's in my living room.
Right. Yeah. I think, yeah. You kind of go into damage control mode. You're like,
It's
man,
gonna
this
poop."
seems to have faded in from nowhere. I think this is fucking crazy.
What did I take again? I think would be my first thought.
At the Roadhouse, James and Donna sit together at a booth talking about Harold's suicide. James assures her that no one is at fault for what he did, while Donna feels ashamed at violating his trust. Bobby, meanwhile, is propped up at the bar, downing shots. Harry and Cooper and the
I'm
log
supposed to be in
lady
economics
arrive.
class, by the way.
What?
He's like, I'm supposed to be in economics class, and then hits the bar.
I'm gonna go. I can't help you. I can't help clean up.
I'm just a little
I'm
baby.
I'm gonna go to class.
That's also kind of a little ballsy, kind of a little badass of Bobby, though, to go. Again, there's only one place to pick from, but still technically he's chosen the cop/FBI bar to do his very obvious underage drinking at.
Mm-hmm.
Don't see that very much. Harry and Cooper and the log lady arrive and sit down at a table. A very interesting blunt rotation, whatever, showing up at the door of the Roadhouse. Observing the band playing on stage and later tapping their feet and hands along.
I'm showing up to the Roadhouse to clap on 1 and 3. That's my ass in there. Getting a lot of True Detective season 2 vibes from this show. This Roadhouse performance.
I'm getting a lot of Twin Peaks The Return vibes from the Roadhouse performance, which is the one thing that
interesting
The Return does better, I would say, than the earlier seasons. Which isn't, that sounds, maybe I have negative stuff to say about it, but I like when you've got proto chromatics and then later on the real chromatics playing at your local band. It's cool. James confirms that Maddie plans on going back home, but Donna remarks that she never told her. As time passes on in the bar, Cooper looks around the bar, but mostly fixing his gaze at the band playing on stage. Suddenly, the band vanishes from the stage, and most of the bar's patrons appear to be frozen in time. The giant materializes in the band's place on stage, and he repeats a harrowing message to Cooper. It is happening again. What do you guys think of this?
I feel like I'm not good at remembering like sound. There was good sound for this too, right? When like everyone feels off, like when you start to get the sense that people are like, I know something's wrong right now. Or is that next episode more?
I bet you're right. I think that this was a really interesting, interesting formal scene, like the sort of techniques and stuff going into this with the spotlight kind of sort of beams the giant in there almost, and everything freezes and he intones, "It is happening again." There's always like the giant always, I'm just realizing this now, like appears like with a light source, like electric light source, strong emanating from him or on him, so far. And who else? So who's all seeing this? Is it just Cooper? Is it the log lady as well? Who do we think sees this apparition?
I always thought it was just Cooper. The log lady is moving in one or two of the shots, though.
I was looking at her and I was thinking the same thing. I didn't think that she saw it. She seemed a little bit too like,
maybe the log sees it and is telling her about it, kind of thing. And I'm not joking there. Like maybe there's, she seems to be like aware of the thin places, or like the dual worlds, to some degree, but maybe isn't like directly perceiving them.
I really like James and Donna singing or mouthing the words to the song to each other.
Yeah.
Too. There's a point, I'm going backwards now, but there's a point in this scene where there's just a lot of shots of everybody digging the band, which is cool. James and Donna mouthing the words to each other. The Cooper log lady, Harry S. Truman, blunt rotation table, they're all tapping along as well. Very cool. Meanwhile, Leland Palmer continues looking at himself in the mirror, grinning from ear to ear. His smile suddenly disappears, and the next time he checks his reflection, it is no longer his own. Instead, in the mirror is Bob. Bob's visage briefly appears over Leland, laughing maniacally. Bob/Leland finally look at the living room, putting on a pair of gloves in anticipation. Maddie comes down the stairs, complaining about a burning smell before she notices her aunt lying on the ground. She then glances at Leland, who briefly turns into Bob before he charges her with a hyperlinked slasher, and also capitalized, so it's a proper noun, a slasher smile. She screams as Leland/Bob drags her back down the stairs as she tries to escape. Leland and Bob begin savagely attacking Maddie as she screams for help. They change forms throughout the attack. Leland sobbing Laura's name while Bob asserts control and smashes Maddie's face into a glass picture frame, killing her. Bob/Leland slacken his grip on the now very dead This is a great sentence. The now very dead Maddie, who collapses onto the floor. He then picks up her limp hand and places a letter underneath one of her fingernails. This is a tough scene. Pretty brutal scene.
Yeah, what a horrifying encounter. And this is fucked up to make your props guy do, I think. To make, like, he's not an actor, and then, like, all right, you're gonna be like sucking on her chin.
Sucking on her chin, yeah.
All right. Ray Wise
also,
turns around.
Weird. Is it a little weird if you're the actress, or just you're a professional actor? Well, she was a professional actor at that point, right? So
yeah,
to be like, your scene partner is the prop guy, that everybody is really spooked out by.
Yeah, hopefully
make it tough on you too.
Bob has been credentialed, or Frank Silva had been credentialed at this point, but yeah, we're just gonna get like
we're
gonna get my boy in here.
This is not a joke. Genuine question. Do you use an intimacy coordinator for this type of thing?
I think you should.
Mm-hmm.
Probably now you would.
Probably now.
We were I don't remember what we were watching recently, but there was like, how do they do strangulation on sets and like dead bodies and stuff like that? Is there like an approach we use for this type of thing, or is it they figure it out each time?
Probably depend. Yeah, probably a lot of different techniques. Makeup can usually do, if they're not, you know, if they're already dead, just make them pale. But like in the act of strangulation, I don't know. Maybe
I kind of like
I think I'm confused.
Don't want to know because I'm sure it's like not good enough. You know what I mean?
Wait, I think I'm confused. Don't you just put your hands around them and make it look like you're squeezing really tight? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah,
I mean, I guess it look so. Like you're squeezing really tight without squeezing really tight.
Yeah, and like, I think what we were watching was like, how do they do drowning? How do they? There's scenes that have drowning and stuff. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I will say, so Blue Velvet is a movie that David Lynch made before this came out. Also has Kyle MacLachlan in it. And there's a very harrowing, violent scene, and sexually violent scene in that is sort of like famous, or I don't know. It very upsetting for audiences, I guess. And there's a kind of, it's the reputation that David Lynch has with his actors, and like specifically about this scene and after the scene, like people are very like surprised by how like it seems like impossible. People have a hard time squaring, like, apparently it was like very, David Lynch is very good at doing this, apparently, like, and making actors feel comfortable or like safe and able to do this. And he's from a generation of filmmakers that continues to this day too, of like, you know, like the Francis Ford Coppola's all the way through, like, you know, the current freaks too, who will just maybe subject their actors to insanity to get the performances that they need. Apparently that is not how it works with David Lynch, and that's great to know. But like, I'm kind of leaning on that I hope that's the case for this episode too. Which, like, I'd have to, I would assume that he's already got Blue Velvet under his belt, and the actors in there like sung his praises about how well those scenes were handled. That like hopefully this was this was sensitively handled here too. But it's a truly horrifying scene and encounter through here too. Like, and yeah, getting back to actually what's happening. Ray Wise, after looking in the mirror, he like turns around, and not only does he just look at the living room like in World, but he looks directly at the camera at this point too. After we sort of finally get the Bob drop, right? And that's very scary. Ray Wise didn't know that this was coming for his character. I don't know like when he knew that, you know, he was Bob or Bob possessed him or whatever, this kind of thing. And that makes like all of his prior performances so great too. And then this one, you know, like in this and the next episode, he's kind of, you know, leaning into a little bit more now after the audience knows. But I mean, he gives a great performance.
It will be interesting to rewatch at some point his character in the prior episodes.
Say again?
For me, it'll be interesting to rewatch his character,
knowing that. Yes.
Yeah.
Did you? So, when did you realize Leland was Bob, or, you know, whatever? Like, we should talk about this Bob Leland relationship here, but like, there's a reveal here in this episode. When did it hit you, Atticus?
I'm mixing in this next episode in my mind a little bit, but I think when I was supposed to, if that is
when you see Bob's face,
he probably.
Okay. Or like, okay, so there is still like Sarah's crawling. That's weird. She's calling out his name. That's weird. And we see him like adjusting his tie in the mirror, and we don't see that like Bob's face yet. Are you putting it together at that point, or you're just like, this is
weird? There's sometimes with me when I'm like, oh, this doesn't make sense with this, I'm like, I probably didn't pay attention to a scene well enough. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it like I'm my own like dumbness. I'm following more than I think I am, so I'm assuming I'm missing something.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think probably when the faces, if I had to, because I don't remember specifically, so I assume when I was spoon fed it.
Yeah. So should we talk about we'll let you, I guess, Ben, I'll let you finish the any descriptions of the scene.
Let me say one more thing. I like I like how this scene is lit and shot. There are some shots where now the camera is kind of fly on the wall and up above, which I think is reminiscent of like some other David Lynch movies too. What's like some of the ones with the rabbits, which would be from like Inland Empire, and then also Rabbits or whatever it's called. It just reminds me of that, like something very scary about that. And then it seems, okay, to my untrained eye, it seems like a lot of the light is like natural light, or, you know, it's the lamps that are in the room, which are quite low. And so there's a lot of like, I don't know, darkness. There's a lot of shadows in the room. And I think that's very, very, very eerie, and it gives it almost like a it's not quite like found footage, but it gives it this very spooky, natural
Yeah.
vibe to me, I suppose.
Like you're in a real place.
Yeah.
And then so there's so agree on all of that, and then there's also this second mode that this scene has too, where they're like twirling around and like we're sort of cutting between Leland and Bob holding onto Maddie, and we are introduced this have we seen this in the show yet? But like there's this dragging shutter angle, like up close, bright light on their face, out of focus stuff. I think it is. I think that's in. I feel like we have seen it in the show before this episode, but it's used in this scene to be like disorienting, which is the interesting pull towards your point of it's very oriented in the room, almost like documentary style of the previous shot.
Do you think if someone were to come into the room while it was happening,
who would they see?
Who would they see?
Leland.
Or can you also just say, who did Maddie see? Yeah, I think Leland.
Sure, yeah.
Great scream from Maddie too. I mean,
God, yeah.
Because it's not a horror movie. It's a very deep one.
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah, true fear.
So, do we think like the visions of Bob previously in the house? He's been like occupying the space, maybe not in Leland at different times.
That's a good question, because we've seen like when he's crawling over the sofa towards
and Sarah saw him.
Maddie. Yeah, it's not that like Leland was. Then we cut, like James and Donna rush into the room when we see that like, oh, Leland is on all fours or something. No, it's just empty ghost type thing. Yeah, and Sarah sees him. So we know the gifted and the damned see Bob. And I think it's probably clear that Maddie is damned, unfortunately, here. Yeah, so Bob isn't like just tied to Leland's physical form here. I kind of think though, I'm now like hypothesizing here. I'm riffing on this idea because that's a really interesting point. I think that the space. I think David Lynch and Mark Frost are interested in this specter of domestic violence and horror, like sort of itself infecting the physical location, like this space, this house that like we've picked up this like these bad vibes that they hang in the air, and Bob is kind of this he's a stand-in for that evil, and it kind of hangs in the air. And that's maybe the version that's how like when Maddie and Sarah see it. I'm also interested in like the summary seems to be saying like Leland / Bob and they and all of this. I think that a project that we'll be undertaking for the rest of this podcast will be on occasion interrogating the complicity of Leland Palmer and Sarah Palmer in of what has been going on in their house. Is it the case that Bob is this a way of just shifting when bad things are happening? That's Bob doing it, and Leland's not party to that, or he's, he wouldn't allow that if he was in full control of his body, kind of thing? Or is there some kind of like invitation that Leland extended to Bob at some point? And is this kind of it's more of a symbol for like different aspects of Leland's psyche? So I just want to set this up that like, yeah, we could read there's the surface level of like, okay, Bob is occupying and possessing Leland, and he's driving him like Ratatouille to like kill his niece type shit. But like, what is that saying about the kind of evil that would drive a man to kill his own daughter, kind of thing? So I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting to examine like where Leland and Bob meet and end.
Okay, let's finish up the episode. As Cooper watches in awe, the giant disappears and the band rematerializes on the stage. The senile waiter from the hotel shuffles over to Cooper, offering his condolences before walking
This
away.
old son of a bitch.
The waiter also walks over to Bobby, who now looks incredibly distraught. So too does Donna, who begins crying while James consoles her. Cooper continues to look at the stage, only this time lost in thought as the red curtains from his dream appear once again.
I feel like Donna and Bobby are gifted. But yeah, they feel it. They have that connection. That's interesting.
Dumb guy question here at this point in the episode, or of the series watch. Did Koopa just randomly get assigned a case where he was well suited with his like in-tuneness? Or is every murder like
I would suggest you keep watching.
Okay. Will do.
I think that's a very good question that maybe we shouldn't try to answer right now.
Okay. Something with his backstory.
Are we ready to move into superlatives and ratings? I think I want to mention about the episode here.
Let's go for it.
All right. Wool of the episode. I'm going to give it to the log lady for her green cardigan. Any other shout outs you guys want to give?
Nope. That one's good.
Okay.
Good.
I would give outfit of the episode, though, to the 500 background characters at the hotel wearing the sailor outfits.
Sailor uniforms. Cool. Pretty cool.
Sailor uniforms with the bouncy balls. Very tight.
Yes. Standout performance. I'm gonna, I shouted out Richard Bamer, and I'm gonna give it to him for this episode. I mean, Ray Wise is going God mode a lot, but like, I want to make sure Richard Bamer gets his due. And
is that Ben?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we see the full range of what he's capable of in this episode.
I'd put Cheryl Lee up there. Probably him.
Absolutely.
Cheryl Lee up there for the scream alone, in that scene alone. That was great at the end.
Yeah. I feel bad about our conversation. It's me yapping a whole bunch, and I yapped a whole bunch about like the men involved in this and the male characters, but and not too much about Maddie and Cheryl Lee here. Cheryl Lee's really great as Maddie and Laura, and it sucks. Kind of sucks that she's here to just get like fucking killed again. It's kind of a tough road to hoe. Atticus, you got a standout performance.
I agree with Ben, or character Ben. I think that that was a good one.
Okay. I'm gonna rate this a 5.
Yeah, this is a 5 from me too.
Very nice. 5.
Yeah. Duality is obviously a major theme of this show. This episode is the other more disturbing and upsetting side to Lynch's style and interests compared to the first few episodes of the season. It's really masterful stuff to be able to have such dark subject matter live in your brain as cozy and quirky. You know, if you think of Twin Peaks, I mean, when I think of Twin Peaks, I kind of get a warm, fuzzy feeling, but it's actually fucking terrible, you know? And this is maybe a good segue to bring up. Did you see that, that awful, like, Department of Homeland Security ad using Twin Peaks clips this last week?
No.
Yeah. They're using, you know, clips of Twin Peaks to signal a kind of America we should return to. And it's like clips of like Maddie and Laura and stuff. This is truly a pedophile occupied government.
Yeah. It's crazy. No, didn't know that. Interesting. Can I ask Atticus a question?
Yeah.
That you might think this is a stupid question, but I think I want to ask it anyway. The usual, who killed Laura Palmer?
I was going to ask the same thing.
Oh, okay.
I guess like Bob through somebody and potentially Leland, but wouldn't that have like kind of really thrown off everyone else in the room? So I'm guessing Bob possessed somebody else still. Not, but
Okay.
Leland in the mix still for me.
Okay. But you still say Bob. You've been saying Bob for a while. So you feel it's Bob, but you think Bob possessed someone that may or may not be Leland.
Yeah.
Okay.
It sounds like specifically you think it wasn't Leland.
I'm leaning against Leland just because I don't think he wanted to kill Maddie, but it kind of seems like Bob is able to like make you do the extreme things in your head or something, because like he did kill Maddie, and I don't think Leland wanted to kill Maddie, but he was like dancing with her in a way that was like kind of grief stricken. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't think Leland killed his daughter.
Interesting. Okay.
Folks, thank you for listening to the show. Check us out on patreon.com/Dr. Skeleton for more of us to hear our bonus hangout show. Next week, we're going to be watching season 2, episode 8. Hope to see you there. Thanks for listening. Goodbye. This is a brand new Extra Good podcast. Learn more at brandnewextragood.com.